Salam alaikum, Brendon. Good to see you again here at the Rubin Museum. I really enjoyed your show today, and you're an oud player. Have you ever been to Arabia or any country?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to have traveled a bit in the Middle East. I got to see Egypt and Israel, if you want to call it Palestine, as well as Morocco. So I would say those are the three, Arabic cultures
Was it before
that I visited.
you started to play the oud, or after?
Before and after.
Oh, okay.
I went that was part of why I started playing, basically, is some of the things I picked up.
When was that?
That would have been about 11, 12 years ago.
Okay.
I went to Israel, actually, in Egypt, and I was already starting to be interested in more of a, Eastern type of music, and then that trip kind of facilitated me becoming a musician, actually. I started playing on the streets in Jerusalem, and that's...
Playing what instrument?
I was playing the jumbush, actually, which is like a Turkish fretless banjo.
Oh, right.
And I was playing that first, and it's got a very dramatic sound, so I was playing that. And then when I got back to New York, I basically was incapable of getting a real job, so I just started playing in the subway, and then I just built everything from there, pretty much.
I see.
Yeah.
And are you a Muslim?
That's a good question.
I'm just
No,
playing
no, no.
a little because oud.
Yeah, it's put it to you like this. I believe in all religions, but I did actually convert to Islam formally, but it was not. It's a big thing, I guess, in the Muslim world to make the conversion. But for me, it was I felt something it was actually in Cyprus, in Greece. I felt something because I started praying with them.
Yes.
At the mosque.
Yes.
And I really liked the earthiness and the simplicity of the prostration, and it just felt very beautiful. The whole ritual of prostrating and the brotherhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt, something for sure. And I had kind of a religious experience actually before that in a mosque. But I'd have to say I'm probably the worst Muslim of all time. I don't think I've ever strung together more than a week of making salat 5 times a day. But as they say, if you take 1 step towards Allah, it takes 7 steps towards you. So,
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So, so are you American?
Yes, I'm from Ohio, Akron.
Because your English is a little different from other New York musicians.
Yeah.
It has a little British accent.
People, I think it's just from traveling. Honestly.
Oh, I see.
I travel a lot, and I'm also somewhat of a kind of comedian, so I'm always impersonating people. So I think the accents and mannerisms kind of influence me. Sometimes too much.
So tonight you played 2 sets here.
Yes.
Did you come with a program, or was it like
No,
improvised?
what I'm trying to do now is basically is getting into the breathing, just getting into my breath, and literally just getting on a groove, playing a groove till I get stabilized, and then I just try to get connected with the music through the rhythm first, and try to get to a place where I stop thinking, at least half as much as I usually do.
How do you feel about the oud in New York? Is it a good instrument to?
It's very good.
Target
it's
people?
very good considering that I'm also a guitar player, and there's probably 10,000 guitar players,
Yes.
and there's a lot of really good ones. And the oud automatically places me in a line that's maybe 20 people compared to a line of 1,000, whatever it is. But the oud is universal.
Could you, for example, I know of musicians who play, for example, the sitar or tabla, or any instrument which is not from America,
Yeah.
but they've never been in that country.
Right.
So, are you sorry, it's a stupid question, but are you confident to play in front of a, for example, Arabic audience?
Sure. Yeah, that is a good question.
Could you touch their hearts?
I mean, I think my experience has been when I do play for people in those countries, they're very proud, actually. It gives them a great pride to see, I think, an American playing their tradition and playing it pretty well, you know. So I think just the fact that I'm American probably it puts me over the edge as far as winning like an Arab audience over. But I mean, I've studied it enough to be semi-fluent, you know. I mean, it's hard to ever really get the accent and the vernacular 100%. But I've also realized that it could be that way, but it shouldn't be. I mean, I'm an American, and I'm informed by different things. So I think as long as a musician can get I would say a good foothold in the language, in this case the language of the oud, if you can get a foothold, then it's respectable because you understand certain things about the language, and then you can kind of innovate with it. Otherwise, if you don't, it's not good. You do have to learn a certain amount of language.
I see. And I think you're also the curator here, like,
yes.
for the Rubin Museum.
Yeah, I've been doing that for the last 5 months, 6 months, I guess.
Oh.
So that's been a different experience, actually booking music.
So how do you choose your musicians for this?
I mean, mostly it's people I know. I mean, I'm blessed to know a lot of great musicians, and then it's just word of mouth. I mean, you know, you're a friend of Sylvain's, for example.
Yes.
I booked Sylvain here. Maybe you'll do something here in the future. Just people, you know, it's just, you know, I go by recommendations only. I would never book anyone that I hadn't heard play, or, you know, but basically that's just people I know. You know, there's like 1 degree of separation in the city.
Okay, and you talked to a lady. It seems like you have a gig this Friday.
Yes, at Zinc Bar. It's a jazz club,
right,
on West 3rd Street, 82 West 3rd.
And are you regular at Zinc Bar?
Yeah, once a month. We're trying to do the first Friday of every month, but it hasn't been working out that way because people can't always do it. So it's basically been there 1 Friday a month, which is
is it your regular band then?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I do have substitutes, but I try to get my regular band there.
So
this Friday it's going to be everybody except my guitar player.
What kind of instrumentation?
It's we have one guy playing alto, soprano sax, clarinet, Turkish kaval.
Who is it?
Matt Dario.
Uh-huh.
And then Matt Kilmer and Rich Stein on percussion, and just incredible players. And Peter Slavov, who's an incredible bass player, is actually playing with Joe Lovano and a lot of really established jazz musicians. And who else? And that's it, actually. We usually have a guitar player named John Shannon, who's also an incredible electric guitar player. And that's usually the lineup. And then we have people sit in sometimes. We might have a cello player coming this Friday.
And will you stay in New York for a while? Because many musicians go and come.
Well, I mean, New York. I'm pretty established here as far as student base and knowing people. But I'm going to India, for example, middle of January to middle of February for a month. So that's going to be an experience. I think it's very important for a musician to travel. Actually, any kind of artistic thing, traveling is like fuel. I think it's like putting fuel in your tank. So anytime, especially if you're a foreign country, so I know it's been pretty mind-blowing, you know. Yeah.
Okay, what about a CD? Something coming out soon?
Finally.
Oh, really?
Coming out. It's pretty much done. We just got to get it mastered.
Yes.
And I think it's because I consider myself probably a very, very hard judge. So I'm going to say this without being ashamed that I think this is a very, very good album. And it's taken me basically 11 years to come out with my own album, but it's worth the wait. I mean, I waited, and there's some beautiful moments, you know, just great. No ego. There's no ego in the band. Everyone's just enjoying playing and breathing and listening. So there's and just a lot of beauty in it. I've listened to it probably 100 times over and over again. You keep learning new things from it, so that's a sign of great music. If you can listen to it over and over again and still get new things, and it still retains its power. You know.
Good, Brendon. Very good. It was good talking to you.
Yes, likewise.
And keep in touch.
Yes.
Let us know about your CD, whatever.
Yeah.
And let the world know about you.
Okay.
Doobie doobie doo, doop doobie doobie, doobie doobie doo.